Hello, and welcome to this edition of the Evening Review, our last edition for the week. My name is Toiwanja Bela, your host, and let's have a quick look at today's front page of Namibian Sun. Tonight on the show, we are joined by the mayor of Walvis Bay, Trevino Forbes. Of course, he's been in the office and with fellow councillors for a few days now after last year's regional and local authority elections. And he is here to talk to us about the situation and how he's finding his new job. Mayor, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Toiba. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, wonderful. So I think you were sworn in on the 30th of November, and then of course December the holidays come, and there are those holiday disruptions. You've started now in January. What can you tell us about your experience in the office so far? Is it the way you anticipated it to be?
Well, it was quite challenging coming in. You know about the problems we faced coming into the office. We were sworn in, and immediately we had to make some big decisions, and before we could go on recess, so that had to be done. So it's a bit challenging, but we are coping.
Indeed. What are the preliminary challenges? You just spoke about it being challenging. Just preliminary, what are some of the challenges that you think need to be addressed for your term with fellow councillors, of course, to be smooth?
Coming in, we had the issue of Toya, which we've had assistance I've been working with the governor, and then we had Shekers, and then the floods. But housing obviously is priority number one, and then when I say job creation, the influence of the council in job creation. So those are the things we need to look at immediately as councillors.
Indeed. And
also in our own...
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sorry, Toiva, you can continue. Yeah, it's okay. You can continue.
Okay, thank you. So how are you managing the expectations? Because, of course, IPC, to a lot of people in Walvis Bay, is a savior of some sort. And the ruling party, SWAPO, was actually voted out on the basis, I think, of perceptions that the party is not doing too well, meaning now that the responsibility to do well is placed on the IPC leadership. How do you manage those kind of expectations as council, and your party in particular?
Expectations are quite high, but it is people voted for change, and they want to see change happening immediately. We didn't have induction as yet. We just started on Monday as councillors. You know, we've been in recess, but we are looking at a lot of projects, which I won't disclose at this particular moment. But once we start, really people will start seeing that the change they voted for is coming, and they voted well. They did a good job in voting for us. We are a coalition council, as you might know. So we have IPC, PDM, Resident Association, LPM, also SWAPO Council. So all of us, we are working together as a council.
Indeed. When you speak about a coalition, Mayor Forbes, you see in the case of Walvis Bay, it's actually slightly better since your party is the majority there, such that both the mayor and the deputy mayor are from your party. Unlike Windhoek, for example, where IPC is in a proper coalition with the ARs of this world, with the PDMs of this world, do you feel that you are in a better position compared to Windhoek to really make decisions? Because with your own mandate as a party, because you are the majority party there, compared to Windhoek, where Job Ampanda, for example, your counterpart here, has to get his mandate from the rest of the councils. Are you praying actually that, are you thankful that you are in a position better than Windhoek?
Well, if you look at decision making, you look at your MC, your management committee, which we divided up in the parties. We have 2 in the MC and 2 of IPC in the MC, and we have 1 seat for Resident Association, 1 for PDM, and then our final position for LPM. So it's quite equal compared to decision making. When it comes to decision making, we are very equally divided. But thus far, we've been receiving a lot of cooperation from all parties involved. We just had our first council meeting on Tuesday, and from there we'll see how it goes. But yeah, deputy mayor is also IPC, which is a good thing. But these are all, like I say, ceremonial positions. Your power lies by your MC, so they are equal with the parties, which we have 2 members.
Indeed. Now, Mayor Forbes, you spoke earlier about the governor of Erongo region, whom I think has been quite active in terms of the activities. We've seen him in Otpea the other day with opposition councillors who are now in charge, of course, of the local authorities in the region. How is the working relationship between the opposition councillors that are dominating now in Erongo with the SWAPO governor in the region? Of course, a government governor, but coming from the ruling party.
Coming in, we said we'll have to work closely with central government for the good of our people. Pride has nothing to do with this now, so we need to come in and we need to work together with central government. Thus far, they've received us quite well. I've had numerous visits from the Deputy Minister of our Life Ministry, Derek Klaassen. Yesterday, he came in and had a small meeting with all the councillors just to introduce himself, like a courtesy visit. The governor involves me in some projects, and we work quite closely together. So the support has been wonderful. I can't complain.
Indeed. Now it's still early days, Mayor. Like we stated earlier in the beginning, that it's still early days, but we've seen sentiments, especially just after the elections, of some people within the ruling party saying, "Oh, but IPC will not succeed in Walvis Bay because we, SWAPO, are in charge of central government and are in charge of the finances that are required to effect development in Walvis Bay." Is that something that bothers you? You said, of course, things have gone well so far, but what do you make of those sentiments?
It doesn't worry me one bit. IPC will succeed in Walvis Bay, and I believe in all the other towns where we are involved, because we believe in working together. Central government has assisted so far. Private sector definitely will come in, and obviously the community, the people that voted for us, they are the ones that will keep us, that will make sure that we succeed in this 5-year term that we are in.
What is the latest regarding the fishing sector industry at Walvis Bay, especially the fishermen who have been flushed out of their jobs some years ago? I know there's been some movements, and it is actually that issue that a lot of people thought SWAPO was not serious about the lives of those individuals, and it played a very huge role in getting IPC elected to office. What can you tell us about the situation as far as that matter is concerned right now?
Regarding the fishermen, our regional councillors, they are working closely with the fishermen to sort out their problems. And once we have solutions, we will all come together and work on that. I just got out of a meeting with Tradies Fishing, where it also supports the municipality. So definitely the fishing sector is one of those we are looking at closely. But as now it's assigned to our regional councillors, they will be working with the fishermen.
Indeed. So what kind of solutions are we looking at, Mayor, there? What sort of the trajectory going forward as far as those people are concerned?
Well, when it comes to the fishing industry, that one is primarily central government. And like I said, regional is looking into it. And when they come up with solutions, we will work together to push through and see what we can do about it.
Indeed. The first priority, I'm sure, also for council now, Mayor Forbes, is to quench the thirst for land in your town, land and housing in particular. What is being done in that regard? Does Walvis Bay have land, first and foremost, where you can accommodate individuals if services were extended to those areas? And are there resources, as a matter of fact, to effect that plan?
The availability of land in Walvis Bay is a problem, because a lot of land was sold off before we came into private companies or individuals. So the availability of land is a problem, but as council has spoken, and we are interested in developing the available land and seeing where we can get land back so that we can also start to develop. We have some projects which we are looking into that will make it affordable. We are looking at affordable housing for people. So to develop land, but when your people can't afford it, really doesn't help anything.
And you just alluded to the first ordinary council meeting that was held on Wednesday this week. What were the highlights of that congregation? What were the key takeaways?
Well, in the first council meeting, we basically had to resolve or send back some decisions made by previous council or meetings which they held. So going forward, we will be looking at our own council resolutions and decisions made by our council. So for now, the previous meeting was just to resolve those things.
Indeed. One of the issues that the new council faced when you walked into council after the elections, and some people can even describe it as a baptism of fire perhaps, was the scandal around $25 million that were, I'm told, unaccounted for at the municipality of Walvis Bay. And there was this huge debate and huge publicity about it. What is the status of that matter, and what is the evidence pointing at the moment?
ACC has opened an investigation, but the municipality also have applied for an internal audit to be done. So the bid closed last, I think, today, and it will take a few weeks for the internal audit to be done. Then we'll know exactly where we stand with this case.
So the officials that were suspended, including the CEO, what is their fate at the moment? Are they still on suspension? Are there any timelines within which they must be able to return to work or being charged? What can you tell us about that?
They are on suspension still until further notice of investigation has been concluded.
Indeed. Now, so let's talk about how IPC intends to separate itself with its own legacy from the legacy of SWAPO in the town of Walvis Bay. Because in Windhoek, for example, there are already talks, but this new opposition coalition is not any different from SWAPO, is birds of the same feathers and whatnot. Of course, there are voices like that here. In Walvis Bay, I'm sure people also, like we said in the beginning of this interview, that there are expectations that you'll be some sort of savior. How does IPC intend to separate itself from the legacy of the ruling party in Walvis Bay?
When you voted for IPC, you voted for change. So definitely change will come. When I speak about change, I'm talking about transparency. We're going to do things differently than the previous. Not to take anything away from them, but we will do things differently. Transparency being one of the main factors here. And focusing on the interest of our people, number one, the voters, working on projects and ways to better the lives of individuals. We want our people to have a dignified way of living in Walvis Bay, and I think for the rest of Namibia also.
The fact that the councillors for both Walvis Bay rural constituency and urban constituency are both from IPC, does that help your cause as council to say you are working with people from the same party and with similar objectives and ideologies? Does it make your work slightly better than it would have been if those councillors were from a different party?
It does. Thus far, we haven't really faced any challenges because we've had cooperation from central government actually and from the governor. So thus far, we didn't have any challenges. We are waiting for our induction to finish, and then we can really start working, let's say.
Just as we are about to close the interview, Mayor Forbes, give me a sense of, paint a picture for me and the viewers right now, especially your residents who are watching right now, to say, if you were to paint some sort of picture of their town 5 years from now, what kind of picture will this be?
At the moment, it's very challenging. We are facing a lot of challenges. We are working with the stakeholders to improve your lives, our people. And I think 5 years from now, you'll definitely see changes. COVID is really restricting us to what we can, or what our abilities are. We would have liked to done more than we can. But rest assured that we are looking out for you. We are here for you. I have seen the grievances and complaints on social media and the concerns which we have. But we will make a difference. IPC will make a difference, and you will see it, guaranteed.
And that difference would mean, of course, that you need support from the whole of council, including SWAPO councillors who are serving there, and then, of course, central government, without whom you will hardly be able to really achieve your objectives there. Is it now time to put aside politics and start working for the nation, even when you are from different sides of the political divide?
Definitely, Toivo. We try not to politicize things when we come into office. We work for the people and work together. The councillors all have the goal, all of them, SWAPO down to PDM, LPM, Resident Association. The goal is to serve the people. And as long as our goals are similar, we can reach our objectives. And thus far, it has been the case. All councillors are working together, from SWAPO down to PDM, LPM, IPC. We have no complaints thus far.
Indeed. Councillor Trevino Forbes, thank you very much for your time, and we wish you all the best for the year that you are in charge as mayor. Of course, we don't know whether, we don't know what will happen when the midterm elections for councillors are held again this year, but for as long as you are in charge, sir, we wish you the best, and of course for the remainder of the term for the entire council. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate it. That's Councillor Trevino Forbes. He's the mayor of Walvis Bay, talking to us about the progress that is being anticipated in that town under the leadership of the Independent IPC, basically. And yeah, those are the views that he has and the plans that they have Thank you for watching and enjoy your weekend.